Have you ever felt like your own brain is just working against you? Like your focus has a mind of its own, and it's decided to go on vacation? Well, in this explainer, we're going to dig into 4 simple but really powerful exercises pulled straight from our source material that are designed to help you finally tame that distracted mind and build some serious, unwavering focus.
I mean, let's be real for a second. Does your day sometimes feel like a constant battle against yourself? You put your keys down and poof, they're gone. You walk into a room with a purpose, and suddenly, you have no idea why you're even there.
Or maybe it hits a little deeper for you. You try to find a quiet moment for prayer or meditation, and not even 2 seconds in, your mind just explodes. It's a flood of to-do lists, worries, random thoughts about a movie you saw last week, anything but being present.
And don't even get me started on work or studying. You're trying to read a single page, but your mind keeps drifting off, and you end up reading the same paragraph over and over and over again. If any of that sounds familiar, trust me, you are in exactly the right place. So, where do we even begin with all this? Well, before we jump into any techniques, we have to build the right foundation. And it all boils down to one single core idea. Focus isn't some talent you're born with. Nope, it is a skill you can build.
Now this, right here, is a total game changer from our source material. What we call forgetting most of the time, it's not actually the problem. The real problem is distraction. Look at the slide for a second. Forgetting is when the information is just gone, a total blank. But distraction, that's when the information is still there, but you can't access it because of all the mental noise. It's like trying to have a serious conversation in the middle of a rock concert. Our goal isn't to recover lost information, it's to turn down the volume.
So believe it or not, the very first exercise is a mental one. We have got to shatter these old, false beliefs that hold us back. Stop telling yourself, oh, my memory is just weak. That's basically just giving in to the noisy room. Instead, like you see here, we need to upgrade our mental software. Start telling yourself, my memory has limitless potential, and focus is a skill I can train. See, focus is a muscle, and right now, we're about to head to the gym.
Okay, section 2. Let's test your focus. How distracted are you really? It's time to stop guessing and actually get some cold, hard data. The source gives us a really simple 15-minute diagnostic test to figure out your starting point. This is where you get to be a scientist of your own mind.
Okay, here's the test. The source suggests using a specific page for consistency, page 227 of the Quran in Surah Hud. Now the key is just to use a dense text you're not super familiar with. So if you don't have a Quran handy, any similar philosophical or complex book will do the trick. Set a timer for exactly 15 minutes. No phones, no interruptions. Your only job is to read and really think about what you're reading. And here's the most important part. Keep a piece of paper next to you. Every single time your mind wanders to your grocery list, to that email you need to send, whatever, just make a little tally mark. Be brutally honest. There's no judgment here. This is all about getting a true baseline.
All right, you've taken the test, you've got your score. Now for the fun part. Section 3, the toolkit. Now that we have a diagnosis, it is time for the treatment. We're going to walk through 4 simple but seriously effective exercises to start strengthening that focus muscle, 1 rep at a time.
That's it. Just 4. You can totally do this. Let's jump into the first one.
Exercise number 1 is kind of like a mental Where's Waldo. You're going to go back to that same dense text you used for the diagnosis. Set a 15-minute timer. Your mission is to scan the text and count how many times you see a specific 2-word phrase. The source suggests Wala N in Surah Hud, but honestly, any common phrase will work. The goal isn't really to find every single one. The goal is to track your progress. Maybe the first time you only get through 3 or 4 pages, but with practice, you'll start scanning more and more pages in those 15 minutes. It's a real, tangible way to see your focus getting stronger.
Okay, this second exercise is so simple it's almost deceptive. All you have to do is count down. Backwards, from 100 all the way to 1. Sounds easy, right? Well, there's a catch.
The source says this exercise has an incredible result, and here is why. The rule is non-negotiable. If your mind wanders for even a split second and you lose your place or skip a number, you have to go all the way back to 100 and start over from the beginning. Now, this isn't a punishment, it's training. It literally forces your brain to hold on to one single, unbroken thread of concentration.
Next up, we have an exercise that gets your hands involved, which engages your brain in a totally different way. All you need is a pen, some paper, and 2 little numbers.
This is the 7 and 8 drill. For 15 minutes straight, in total silence, you're just going to write the numbers 7 and 8 over and over. As you can see, you'll write them forwards like normal, and then you'll practice writing them backwards, reversing the actual stroke. The source recommends doing this 5 times a day. It's this intense, simple, physical task that's designed to just crowd out all of that internal mental chatter.
And our final exercise. This one takes the training out of these formal sessions and brings it right into your everyday life. It's a mindfulness practice that's centered on something as simple as a piece of fruit. This is the mindful fruit method. Just pick up an apple, an orange, a banana, whatever. Your only job is to experience it with all your senses. Notice the texture of the peel, the smell, the weight of it in your hand. Now, your mind will wander. That's a guarantee. A thought will pop up like, how much did this cost? Or, I need to buy more of these. That moment is the entire point of the exercise. It's not about never having distractions. It's about the practice of noticing the distraction, acknowledging it, and then gently bringing your attention right back to the fruit. Every time you do that, you're basically doing a push-up for your brain.
And that brings us to our 4th and final section. We've talked about the mindset, we've gone over the exercises, but absolutely none of it will work without this one last crucial ingredient. This is the glue that holds it all together. The source gives us the absolute perfect analogy for this. You have to treat these exercises like medicine. Think about it. If a doctor prescribes you an antibiotic and says, take this 3 times a day, you don't just take it once and expect to feel better, right? You have to take the full prescribed dose consistently to see any results. It is the exact same thing with your focus.
And please remember to be patient with yourself. You are literally rewiring the pathways in your brain. Nothing huge ever comes from the very first try. You wouldn't go to the gym once, lift one weight, and then expect to have huge muscles. It just doesn't work that way. This is no different. Everything needs training.
So we have to stop thinking about focus as some kind of magical quality that we either have or we don't. It's not. It is a strength that can be built. It is a skill that can be sharpened. Your focus is a muscle. And the only question left is, are you ready to start training?